I got distracted. I caught the biggest fish I've ever caught on my own boat.
Just
yesterday.
now? Oh, yesterday.
And I was cleaning fish this morning.
What did we catch?
And I literally lost track of time, realized I didn't have enough cell service where I was to do the phone calls.
Uh-huh.
So I've been driving around like an idiot until I had enough bars to call you.
I appreciate it. What did we catch?
100. I didn't weigh it until after we addressed it, but it was well over 100-pound yellowfin tuna.
Nice. Did we
That literally almost crippled me because I didn't have time to get the right belt on to stand up, fight the fish, because my buddies are all jerks and they won't let me fight the fish and the rod holders like everybody else.
Yeah.
And this fish almost took me down, which is a metaphor. Sometimes the biggest challenges, and this is what we're living in our politics, they could make you or break you, brother.
Yeah,
make you or break you.
Well, I imagine you've got the guns to be able to pull that fish out of the water, so I imagine the guns will be raring tonight. I got to ask you about the trouble you started last week at the DNC, drawing a ton of bipartisan praise and maybe as many side eyes in a second. But we're one of the rare local radio shows that managed to get an interview with RFK Jr. in the spring. You and News Nation had him on regularly. You even had a town hall with the guy. What do you make of this deal he's worked out now with Trump?
If I had been advising Bobby, I would have said, step away. Sure, you're running out of money. Shanahan is getting increasingly extreme with what she says. You're having ballot access problems. You're probably not going to be anything but at best a spoiler. Okay, I get it. I get why you want to step away. Is it going to disappoint people? Of course. Should they be disappointed? Of course. But I had him on because the two parties do not get to tell you what your range of choice is and how they conduct, how we conduct our politics. They are players. They are not the kings. They have no legal right to that, except that the people in power keep giving them that because they are also on the team. However, step away, I get it. Endorsing, I don't get it. And here's why. Had he not endorsed Trump, and I don't care if it had been Trump or Harris, it doesn't change my analysis, he would have been the commentator in chief for the rest of this election. Everybody would have started having him on because he would have been saying, hey, look, the people who are interested in me and the other way, I'm not feeling this idea.
Yeah.
And then she better do a lot more of this and he better do a lot more of that. He would have had a lot more impact. Now he's a 2-day story.
Well, and it's another example of why I am a believer in what News Nation is trying to do, that you did give him a forum because he was a legitimate competitor out there getting 18-20% in the polling for quite a long time. The trouble you started last week at the convention goes a little bit to what you were just talking about. Not that the money didn't always play a huge part in our elections. Been 14 years since Citizens United, but you created a stir trending for hours the other night on social media, pointing out that the big money donors and corporations are really behind both parties.
Oh, listen, what's so interesting? It was such a Rorschach test, Manny.
Yeah.
Where they were all attacking me just because they were mentioned as part of the problem. The Democrats. Why are you saying it about it? First of all, there's 4 different things. One, it's all true. It's all true. They don't hide any of this, Manny. What I kept saying to people who are like, oh, it's not, you're wrong. No, I'm not wrong. Here's the menu for the DNC. Here's the menu for the RNC. The price structure is almost identical. And the people who bought them have incredible overlap because why wouldn't you hedge? This is the cost of doing business for businesses.
Right.
So, and it's not the same. It's not always been like this. They spent like $300 million, in 2000. It's now at $10 billion. That's not just the cost of money doubles every 7 years. This was Citizens United, and that now all the dangerous money is legal, and all corporations can bundle their heinies off. So they do. I'll send you a piece when we get off about the mega donors that are running this election on both sides. Yeah. And this is this incredible disparity, Manny. It's all about billionaires and small dollar donors. What a pathetic parody. We finally empower small donors as what? Just dressing.
Yeah.
They're just dressing.
And
the whole rest of the country is just left out of this process.
And you pointed out it was the very same billionaire donors that were buying the skyboxes at both of the conventions, looking down upon everybody else, which I thought spoke volumes. Last thing for you. how does the vision of our country play into this election? You think a wise man once said, "Any jackass can kick over a barn. It takes a good man or woman to build one." What these two campaigns are selling, Chris, are different visions of our country right now.
100%, and that matters. And I haven't given enough deference to it, to be honest. And thank you for the reference to my father. Yeah. But look. Here's what I said on Friday. I'm going to say it again every night. I have Jim Jordan on tonight. I got Carville on tonight. I may have Shanahan or Bobby on tonight. We'll see. But no matter who it is, here's my mindset. I don't want to hear anything about why you have a problem with the other side. We know. We get it. You've said nothing but that for a year. What can you do to make anything better, and how and why? That's all we should be talking about. Jim Jordan's going to come on tonight. He's going to have something I'm sure he'll want to announce, and it's going to be bad for the Democrats. Mm-hmm. I am going to say to him, okay, I get it. What would you do that would make it better other than investigating them? Because nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to hear what you find out about other people. Yeah. You're 1/3 of your following does. But everybody else, people like me and you, we're over it. So people have to become obsessed with what can make us better. And that's really hard because everybody's feeding us, and it plays to self-interest and self-protection to feed into the negativity. But that's the game these both sides are playing. Oh, I'm going to make home ownership easier, Manny. I'm going to give you a subsidy. How are you going to pay for that? Yeah. What are you going to cut? Oh, we'll figure that out. No. Forget that. Now tell me. Well, I'm going to give you a tax cut, says Trump. Great. You like the last one that ballooned our debt? Oh, no, it didn't. It helped. That's BS. What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? If people stay engaged on that, we get to a better place. Otherwise, all we can be is a tale of two cities.
Yeah. All we can do is continue to fight and be optimistic, and it's really
fights
difficult.
That don't matter to your life.
Yeah.
You and I don't care what bathrooms kids are going into. Yes, I do. I care about my kid. Nobody's making my daughter, who goes to public school, just like my son, nobody's going to make my kid be transgender, okay? I don't need you to burn books. I don't need, on the other side, I don't need any radicalization of thought. I don't need any of that. These are all distractions because they don't want to deal with what actually matters, and they keep hoodwinking us.
They keep people angry and fearful and active at the polls. Chris, in closing, my condolences on the loss of your godfather. I appreciate you be watching tonight, and we'll talk in a couple of weeks. Thanks for the time.
Manny, thank you very much. I actually almost called him this morning by mistake because we used to do Monday morning check-ins. I'll miss him very much, but as we learn as we get older in life, you got to keep people alive by how you decide to live in the way that they taught you. And I got a long way to go, but my godfather was a great man who put all the right things in my head and my heart, and I'm going to try to remember it. Thank you for bringing him up.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother. We'll be watching tonight. Chris Cuomo, host of Cuomo on News Nation, weeknights at 8 o'clock, the Chris Cuomo Project podcast as well. All right, with some of his comments, I imagine